Have you ever paused and wondered why a man's eyes settle on you long before his heart ever learns who you are? Why his attraction wakes up before his devotion even starts to form? This is not only about biology, it's psychology, instinct, and human behavior moving together. And once you understand this, you will never feel ignored, confused, or unsure again. So many women mix up desire with love or feel uncomfortable when they become the focus of a man's physical interest. But the real truth is that desire is not something shameful. It's an entry point. It's the spark that draws his attention toward you. Love comes after, but only when you stay rooted, know your worth, and guide his instinct toward something richer and more meaningful. A man's attraction often forms before he even has the chance to hear your voice. He sees you, notices your presence, and in that brief moment, something deep, ancient, and instinctive turns on inside him. This reaction is not disrespectful. It's a result of biology and hundreds of years of evolution shaping the very first moment of his response. Men are designed to look, to follow, and to move toward what catches their eye. And most of the time, the first trigger is visual. It's the aura you carry, the energy in your movements, the way you step into a space. It's not only about your body, it's the silent message your presence sends before you even open your mouth. This is why desire shows up first. It's not a flaw in men and not a sign that your worth is tied only to how you look. It is simply how the male mind operates. It reacts fast. It understands slowly. But here is what matters most. The fact that he first notices you for one reason does not mean that reason will be what keeps him by your side. That is where your strength as a woman truly reveals itself. You must stop treating desire as the full story. It is only the first page, and everything that follows depends on the depth you bring into the connection. Yes, he may be drawn in by your smile, your confidence, or the way you move across a room. But what holds his spirit and keeps his attention is your honesty, your standards, your emotional power, and the way you refuse to bend simply because he looks at you with hunger in his eyes. A man may feel desire quickly because that part of him reacts the fastest. That instinct is strong and immediate, but it is not deep yet. And this is where many women end up hurt. They take that early passion as a sign of something lasting. But passion is not closeness. Desire burns fast. Love grows slowly, like a seed that needs time, patience, and space to become something real. And here is where everything shifts. When you accept that desire is only the beginning, you stop handing your heart to someone who has not earned that level of trust. You stop mistaking his attention for affection. You stop assuming that his strong desire means he is ready for commitment. And when you understand this, you reclaim your emotional power. Men may notice you instantly, but that does not mean they truly see you. Real seeing requires time, respect, effort, and emotional presence. Desire may pull him toward you, but only when he realizes you are much more than what he first imagined does he start to feel something deeper. That shift from noticing to truly seeing, from wanting to respecting, is what separates men who only pass through your life from men who want to stay. And the key to that shift has nothing to do with how much you try to please him. It's found in the way you carry yourself. For generations, women were told that being wanted was enough. But desire without depth becomes empty. And a woman who recognizes this moves through the world in a different way. She does not try to increase his desire. She does not try to make herself more visible just to grab attention. She lets attraction rise naturally without letting it define her worth. She is not afraid of being desired, but she also does not crumble under the weight of it. She allows it to be what it is, a signal, a spark, and then she watches what he does next. Does he step forward to understand her heart and her world? Does he try to learn who she really is? Or does he remain stuck in the shallow space of physical interest? A woman who understands men also understands her own value. She does not blame him for feeling drawn in, but she does not reward him too soon either. She knows a simple truth. The easier it is for him to gain everything from you, the less he will try to uncover anything deeper within you. Men pursue what they believe is valuable, and value is reinforced by what is not immediately available. This does not mean playing tricks. It means having self-respect. It means saying, I know what drew you here, but you need to go deeper if you want to stay here. When a man feels desire for you at first, it is not love. It is curiosity, interest, fascination. And there is nothing wrong with that. But if he never moves beyond that stage, then the answer is clear. You are not meant to be consumed. You are meant to be understood, respected, appreciated, and deeply known. Desire might bring him to your doorstep, but your character, your presence, and your standards are what decide whether he enters with respect or tries to take without offering anything real in return. You cannot stop men from feeling desire. That is not your job. Your power lies in choosing what that desire becomes. You are not helpless in this dynamic. You set the direction. You choose whether the connection stays shallow or grows into something meaningful. If you do not know your worth, you will keep confusing his desire with real love. But when you stand firm in your value, everything becomes clearer. Desire is simply his first language. Love is a language he learns only when you show him something worth learning. You teach a man how to love you by revealing what is worth loving. And that begins when you stop shrinking under the warmth of his desire and instead rise with strength, calmness, clarity, and self-respect. Never forget this. A man's eyes may land on you before his heart ever does. That is normal. That is human nature. But whether his heart opens depends entirely on what you expect from him, what energy you reflect back, and how you present yourself. Be the woman who accepts attention but refuses to be defined by it. Because when desire meets dignity, it finally has space to grow. And when it grows, that is where real love begins. Desire is a message, not a map. It's a spark, not a structure. Yet many women misunderstand it. When a man shows strong desire, it can feel flattering. It can feel powerful. It can even feel like affection. But desire is not a plan for love. It is not commitment. It is simply the body saying that something is interesting here. And while that feeling can be exciting, it is not enough to build something real. If you treat desire as a strategy to win his heart, you will end up exhausted, doubtful, and emotionally drained. Because desire does not ask meaningful questions. It does not communicate clearly. It does not give. It only wants to take. It wants to enjoy, not build. And if you do not understand this, you will keep trying to turn heat into heart by giving more of yourself than you ever should. Desire is like a doorway. It opens, it invites someone in. But what happens inside that space is what truly matters. And who sets the rules in that space? You do. The moment you start treating desire as a signal, something to observe, understand, and respond to wisely, you take back control of the story. You reclaim the power the world once taught you to surrender. You stop thinking you must keep a man through appearance alone. You stop depending on seduction as your only power. Instead, you begin expecting a man to bring more than desire to the table. You start saying, I know you're attracted to me, but do you respect me? Do you understand who I am? Are you worthy of more than just one effortless night of my time? This is not manipulation. This is emotional maturity. The problem is that too many women have been taught to mix up desire with affection. We grow up surrounded by the idea that if a man wants you passionately, it must mean he cares deeply. But passion is not depth. Heat is not stability, and desire without principles always burns out. When you rely on lust as your main strategy, when your beauty or sensuality becomes your main weapon, you may catch his attention, but you will not keep his loyalty, because eventually, even the strongest physical pull will be tested by real life, by stress, arguments, distance, and change. And when that moment appears, the real question becomes clear. Is there something deeper beneath the surface? Is there friendship? Is there shared values? Is there mutual respect? Treating desire as a signal means you understand it is only an invitation, never the destination itself. It's okay to enjoy the chemistry. It's normal to enjoy the way a man looks at you. But your future cannot depend on glances or sweet words alone. What does he offer beyond his desire? Does he listen to you? Does he care about your time? Does he show up even when things are hard? Is he reliable even when he has nothing to gain? These are the signs of real love, not the warmth of the moment, but the weight of his behavior. And if all he brings is lust, it is not your job to transform him into a loving partner. He must want that growth for himself. This is where many women lose themselves. They take a spark and try to turn it into a full flame on their own. They adjust too much, they chase too much, they give more than they should. And by doing this, they teach the man that desire is enough to earn everything she has to offer. But you are not a temporary thrill. You are not something that should be handled carelessly. You are a woman with depth, insight, and an entire inner world. And unless a man is willing to slow down, look past his own urges, and genuinely pursue who you are, he does not deserve access to the deeper parts of your soul. When you treat lust as just a signal, you become wiser. You stop rushing into things. You give room for a man to show whether he is serious or simply stimulated. You hold yourself back, not to manipulate him, but to protect what carries meaning inside you. You understand that anything of true value needs time. You do not run away from desire, but you also do not give away your heart simply because he looks at you like you're everything he has ever wanted. Because that look will soften, that intensity will cool. And only the man who still chooses you after that shift is the man who is capable of staying. There is no shame in being desired. The danger lies in thinking that desire is enough to build a future. Lust is simple. Love takes real effort. And until a man brings effort, clarity, and intention, he has not earned an emotional place in your life. Let his desire be the beginning, not the reason you attach yourself to him. Do not let it blur your judgment. Let it guide you to real conversations, not rushed promises or fantasies. You are the guardian of your own future. And when you treat lust as a signal, you protect that future with wisdom. You slow down. You watch him carefully. You let him show whether he can shift from obsession to loyalty, from interest to intention. And more importantly, you respect yourself enough to say, desire is not enough to claim me. You must earn the right to love me in a real way. That is how you move from being a moment in a man's life to becoming someone who changes his life for the better. Depth requires time and standards. This is not something optional. This is the rule of genuine love. You cannot rush closeness. You cannot force a connection that has not been earned. But today, in a world where everything moves quickly through messages, instant attraction, and shallow approval, many women feel pressured to give more and ask for less because they fear losing the man. But that is not how lasting love forms. That is how temporary excitement survives. If you want something that can survive storms, silence, distance, and time, then hold this truth close. Nothing deep grows in a hurry, and no man will value a woman who does not value herself first. The path from desire to love is not created through speed. It is created through standards. It shows in what you refuse to accept. It shows in what you are willing to walk away from. It shows in how patient you are before opening the most protected parts of your heart. Your standards are not walls, they are filters. They do not block love, they protect it, because any man can say beautiful things when he is driven by desire. But only a man with real intention will rise to meet your standards when desire stops being enough. He will make an effort when shortcuts are not given. He will stay when consistency becomes necessary. You must stop believing that making yourself easy to please will make him stay longer. You must stop thinking that lowering your standards will make you more lovable. It will not. It only makes you easier to replace. And you are not here to be replaced. You are here to be chosen. Standards are not heavy burdens. They are the reflection of your worth. They show the world exactly what you believe you deserve. And when you respect them, you teach others how to treat you. You show a man whether you are a short-term escape or a long-term partner. You show him whether you want a moment or a meaningful future. Time tells the truth. Time uncovers who a person really is. Anyone can charm you for a month. Anyone can pretend for a short while. Anyone can make promises during the rush of desire. But real love demands consistency after the spark has faded. It demands effort after the excitement is gone. It demands honesty even when it feels uncomfortable. And the only way to know if a man can hold that level of depth is to let time lead the process and allow your standards to remain steady. Women often ask, "How do I know if he truly loves me?" Here is the answer. Watch who he becomes when he does not get what he wants immediately. Watch how he responds to your boundaries. Watch his behavior when you say, "Not yet. I need more than words." That moment tells you everything you need to know. That moment shows whether he is invested in you or invested only in what he hopes to take from you. And if he walks away, let him walk. Because the man who truly sees your worth will stay. He will adjust. He will grow. He will rise to your level instead of trying to pull you down to his. Men do not fall in love with easy. They fall in love with effort. Not because love must be a struggle, but because anything gained without value is rarely treated with care. A man must feel that your heart is something meaningful to earn, not in a prideful way, but in a dignified way. He must understand that you are not auditioning for his affection. He is proving whether he deserves yours. That is not ego. That is strength. That is the kind of woman who never begs to be chosen. She chooses herself first, and by doing so, she silently teaches others to rise to her level. Love built without time is like a house built without a solid foundation. It may stand for a short moment, but it will fall the second life becomes heavy. And love without standards is like an agreement with no rules. It invites chaos, imbalance, and eventually heartbreak. But when you pair time with strong, steady standards, something truly beautiful begins to grow. You start attracting men who are emotionally steady. You naturally filter out the ones who only look for shortcuts. You build connections not from illusion, but from shared values, mutual respect, and commitment that is shown through actions, not rushed promises. Don't confuse intensity with importance. Just because something feels strong doesn't mean it's real. You have to learn to sit in the uncomfortable space of waiting. You must resist the pull to speed up a process that is meant to develop slowly. You must guard your emotional space like the precious ground it is. The right man will never ask you to drop your standards. He will appreciate them, he will honor them, and he will rise to match them. There is a deep calm that comes from knowing you don't have to hurry love. You don't have to prove your worth. You don't have to shrink your boundaries to stay noticed. The love you want, real, steady, meaningful, only grows in the space where time and standards are allowed to shape it. So be patient, stay grounded. Do not fear being alone, do not chase connection. Build it slowly, deliberately, and with clear intention. Because when a man is given time to understand your worth and when he has to rise to meet the expectations you hold, something shifts inside him. Desire begins to mature, infatuation becomes steady, and love takes form. Not quick hunger, but true love. That is the moment when you stop being someone he simply wants and you become someone he cannot imagine letting go. What you allow becomes what you teach. It is one of the strongest truths in relationships and also one of the most overlooked. Every time you excuse behavior that hurts you, you teach him that you will tolerate it. Every time you stay silent when your needs are ignored, you teach him that your needs don't matter. Every time you accept inconsistency, unclear intentions, or emotional distance, you aren't being patient. You are quietly telling him that this level of effort is enough. Once that pattern settles in, it becomes very hard to undo because people, including men, learn not from your words but from the behavior you accept. You show others how to treat you through your choices, your boundaries, and the actions you respond to. When you lower your standards to avoid tension or to feel chosen, you teach him that your love can be earned at the cost of your self-respect. This isn't about being unkind. It's about understanding that love without direction becomes confusion, and relationships without standards turn into survival games where you work endlessly to earn what should be given freely: respect, consistency, care, and effort. Many women fall into the trap of believing they'll be the exception. They see warning signs and think, I can love him through this. He'll change when he realizes my value. He'll improve because I'm here. But the truth is this: you are not changing him. You are teaching him how little he needs to offer to keep you. You are reinforcing the very behavior you wish he would stop. You are showing him that emotional distance still earns your loyalty. And the longer you stay, the more difficult it becomes to leave. The more you defend the bare minimum, the further you drift from your own sense of worth. This is why self-respect must guide you. Not arrogance, not ego, but healthy and grounded self-worth. The kind that says, I don't have to fight for basic care. I don't have to remind you to be consistent. I don't have to explain why communication matters. If you cannot meet me at that level, then you cannot have access to me. When you live that truth, not just speak it, you stop chasing potential and you start protecting your peace. Many women fear setting these boundaries because they believe it will push men away. And it will, but only the ones who shouldn't be there in the first place. The right man is not threatened by standards. He is stabilized by them. He does not treat your boundaries as obstacles. He treats them as direction. He is not bothered by your honesty. He respects it. Because a man who is prepared for real love does not want to guess how he should treat a woman. He wants to understand her so he can show up with his full heart. What you allow once becomes a signal. What you allow twice becomes a habit. What you allow repeatedly becomes the role you play in that relationship. If you allow even small disrespect, you become the woman who will tolerate it. If you accept unreliable effort, you become the woman he does not feel required to show up for. If you accept late-night messages but no real plans, you become the convenient choice, not the cherished one. You are not only reacting to his behavior, you are shaping it. And I know some women say, but I don't want to be alone. Understand this clearly. Being alone and respected is far better than being with someone who makes you feel small. Loneliness fades, regret remains. When you walk away from what drains you, you clear space for what will uplift you. But if you keep filling that space with men who disrespect you or delay your growth, You block the very love your heart is longing for, a love that is mutual, honest, and deep. This is not about waiting for a flawless man. It is about refusing to settle for a man who refuses to grow, a man who ignores your voice, a man who takes without giving, a man who keeps you uncertain while gaining from your loyalty. That isn't love. That is emotional convenience. And you were never meant to be someone's emotional backup plan. You are not a resting place for broken potential. You are a woman with value, purpose, and depth. And if you want men to honor that, you must show them how. Because what you allow truly becomes what you teach. And you are the first teacher in every relationship you step into. Show him that you expect more. Show him that closeness to your heart is something that must be earned, not assumed. Show him that your time is valuable, your energy is guarded, and your heart is not a prize handed out for careless behavior. Speak less, observe more, explain less, enforce more. Stop trying to prove your worth and start living like your worth is not in question. That is how you move with emotional strength. That is how you protect your future. And that is how you shift from being wanted to being deeply valued. The path from desire to real love is one only women with strong self-respect can walk. Not girls pretending they understand love, not women chasing validation or begging to feel chosen. Only queens, women who recognize their worth, defend their peace, and require emotional depth. That is the real journey. Because the change from being desired to being genuinely valued is never accidental. It is a decision, a rise, a conscious climb. It isn't something you stumble into by luck. It is something you grow into through strength, standards, and courage. The courage to be misunderstood, the courage to stand alone at times, the courage to stay firm even when the world tells you to settle for the easy path. Lust is simple. It needs nothing but chemistry, convenience, and impulse. Real love, the kind that endures and nurtures you, is demanding. It needs time, honesty, vulnerability, and steady commitment. And only a queen is willing to give that without losing herself, because she doesn't just want a man who wants her for a moment. She wants a man who knows her heart, understands her spirit, and honors her emotions. Lust burns fast. Love grows with patience.